Here's a thrilling story about how I narrowly escaped a kidnapping. It was supposed to be a quick run to the convenience store. I was craving some sour gummy worms and figured a 10-minute trip wouldn't hurt. It was late, around 11 p.m., and the streets were quiet except for the occasional car passing by. As I left the store, my bag of snacks in hand, I noticed a white van parked awkwardly near the curb. You know the type, the ones that always seem to star in bad news stories. The engine was running, but no one was in sight. My gut told me to take the long way home, even though it was out of my way. Halfway through the detour, I heard footsteps behind me. Not casual, leisurely steps. These were deliberate, quick. I glanced back and saw a man in a dark hoodie closing the gap between us. He wasn't jogging, but his pace was calculated. I sped up, clutching my phone in one hand and my bag in the other. My heart was racing as I mentally rehearsed dialing 911. I could feel the weight of his stare even without looking back again. Suddenly, he called out, "Hey, you dropped something." I didn't stop. I knew better. "Hey!" His voice was sharper now, more commanding. I turned down a side street, hoping to lose him, but the sound of his footsteps quickened, and that's when I realized he wasn't alone. A second man stepped out from behind a parked car ahead of me, blocking my path. My stomach dropped. It was a trap. I froze for a split second, my brain screaming at me to think fast. Then, out of nowhere, I heard the unmistakable sound of barking, ferocious, angry barking. Across the street, a huge dog, maybe a German Shepherd or a mix, was charging straight at us. Its leash was trailing behind it, and its owner, a middle-aged guy in a bright orange jacket, was sprinting after it, yelling, "Max, no! Come back!" The two men hesitated, clearly not expecting an 80-pound canine missile to join the scene. I didn't wait to see how it would play out. While they were distracted, I darted across the street, past the dog, and into a well-lit gas station. Inside, I breathlessly explained what had happened to the clerk, who immediately locked the doors and called the police. Through the glass, I saw the two men retreating, blending into the shadows like they'd never been there. The dog's owner finally caught up to Max, apologizing profusely as if his dog hadn't just been my hero. When the cops arrived, I gave them a description of the men and the van I'd seen earlier. They took it seriously, but I never found out what came of it. All I know is that I owe my life to a random dog named Max and a craving for gummy worms that nearly got me snatched. From that night on, I started carrying pepper spray and maybe an extra bag of dog treats, just in case.